Hello there, my amazing Aries. Welcome on into your August monthly reading. As you can see, we are beginning with an overall main oracle on the board, and we have the purple crystal quartz card talking about focus. And so I heard the message before beginning recording your reading of you get what you focus on. And I know that seems simple and obvious, but it's a time where Spirit's saying where you aim your focus, your resources, your attention, even your belief. I feel that you're going to see evidence quite soon after the fact, even maybe in the midst of which, that you will get what you want, you will get what you need, as long as you focus on it. And so Spirit's not saying spend the entire month of August focusing on what you want and need and overdoing it and adding heaviness. But it is a month where Spirit's saying you are manifesting, and you're also a very spiritual soul, right? And I feel you know this to an extent, if not fully at this point. But it just seems to be a month throughout August where it's like you're zoning in on this and that. You're believing and imagining in, when it comes to something important for you, or maybe something you decide in a fleeting moment throughout August that you want to go for, or you're maybe going to consider. They're wanting you to be very decisive throughout this month as well. For when you feel things at this point, you may be reminded as well throughout the month that you're very intuitive, very on point when it comes to what you feel. Trust these feelings of importance, even maybe spiritual feelings that you're gifted in specific moments. Trust these feelings. For I want to say that these decisive moments that Spirit wants you to make very intuitively throughout the month will leave you with certain different results that maybe you've been longing for a bit now. But for some of you, it's these new results that you weren't maybe aware that or maybe your path is in need of more than ever. But I also feel like Spirit's saying things like crystals, maybe as well picking up a tarot deck, an oracle deck. I just feel like, okay, utilizing Palo Santo, I'm hearing for somebody incense. It just feels like these small strategies are being brought up and pointed out to you by Spirit so that you can maybe cleanse your energy, feel some sort of benefit stemming from whatever kind of crystal or other strategy it ends up being. If I even said that correctly, strategy. But the Death card over here, because I feel like, my friend, things are transforming within and outside of you, and you can sense this. But I feel that you are wanting different than what you're seeing, what you're focusing upon at certain points. And I guarantee, because you as a soul, as an Aries kind of individual, you've developed due to recent changes and circumstances otherwise within your life. And so, yeah, you're not the only one who's changed, and you're going to be noticing how others in your life and whatnot have changed as well in their own ways. But I do feel it's a time where you're just needing to at times focus upon this and that that's going to teach you a lot about how you've changed, about what you need and want more so out of life at this point. Putting out of mind and out of sight as to what old versions of you wanted and needed. I hope that was what I was getting to. I get lost in these channeling rants. But I want to say as well, you're being pushed to at certain points throughout August to stop and look around, or just to look around if you were already stopped. And there's something about you focusing and observing upon when it comes to certain aspects of your surroundings, because it's this feeling of things not matching up for you, things maybe feeling more so than ever accurate as far as whether there's partial alignment or any for that matter, because it's the sense of you feeling maybe a bit disconnected. So for the month as a whole, you're going to be disconnected from pretty much everybody and everything, while that holds great benefit that you'll see at certain points. But then it's these random moments that feel quite often, to be honest, where you're just kind of zoning on in, you're focusing what might feel random to you, but even if it doesn't, it feels like you focus randomly and it takes you out of that disconnected way of being. And I want to say, for the most part, 99.5% of the time throughout August, what you focus upon holds great value. But mainly what I was trying to get at is most of the time it's going to hold purpose. But what else do we have for Aries for the right-hand side? 526 is a good number for you. Okay, justice. And so it feels like August is going to bring you a piece of justice to help you feel more in alignment with your future, to feel good about, to feel concrete in regards to what has been maybe stripped away from you in the past, or you chose to walk away from, to let go of. It honestly feels like you're one of the many signs who is in the midst of shedding what you could or once did hold on to, or remain connected to, so that you can feel free to focus on what matters to you, or to figure out what matters the most to you at this point, right? That can change. Sorry about the noise as a truck goes by. But to be honest, that is one of those trucks for lawn care. And so as I was being drawn to all the tools in the back compartment of the truck, I do feel as if Spirit was trying to communicate the message of this Aries collective going through some, I'm hearing trimming, all right? Some cutting of one's losses, maybe, letting go of what can't or won't change, I'm getting. But I do feel as if, thinking about someone or multiple people taking care of cutting a lawn and trimming and whatnot, and picking up what has been maybe labeled as excess. Okay, thinking about leaves and whatnot. But basically it feels like you're taking out the trash throughout the month, okay, or at least in certain ways getting ready to do so. But you're taking care of business, you're cleaning things up, and you're trimming the fat. That's kind of how I'm feeling. But justice is talking about you maybe being done dirty in the past somehow, maybe multiple times. But for this Aries collective, I know justice can come through in a different form. Say you struggled with a relationship, now you'll win financially. But I'm feeling like this is a direct making up for maybe something that came and it went, or it took way too long to come in, feeling like a long time coming for a lot. But it could have been, naturally, like I said, a wrongdoing, but it feels like it's being made up for you if that's the case. Justice is coming in very specifically in a similar, if not exact, same kind of form, okay? So I know that came out correctly, but for example, if you struggled up until this point, or for the most part financially, you're going to receive some sort of justice for your finances, and it's going to be epic. But it's to say maybe with somebody specific you dealt with difficulty with them. Now there's justice in regards to dating otherwise with somebody different, or if you're choosing to dabble in that other person that we were talking about, there's justice with them specifically. So you can apply it as you may, or see how it comes to be for you. But I want you to stretch your legs at certain points throughout the month. I know that sounds random, but they're feeling like you're going to at certain points quite often throughout the month gain sort of a stiffness, maybe even locked joints within your legs, okay, especially within the knee area. So stretch your Aries legs. I also feel like, in a sense, that was one of the interesting ways of Spirit saying we're needing you to stretch, to get yourself physically and otherwise ready for what feels to be a new reality that lies on the horizon for you. And then they're saying you've been asking for change, right? You've been asking for different. You've been maybe feeling this kind of antsy or uncomfortable, again, disconnected kind of vibe and energy coming about, even perspective coming about, to the point where now this month is supporting what you want to shift away from, maybe what you're more so realizing throughout the month you want to shift away from or need to. And then it's gaining you new focus and awareness on when it comes to what's actually going to be in alignment with you, what's actually going to work for you. And they're saying when you feel focused on what feels good for you, maybe even what all the meanwhile helps others, or somebody in particular, they're saying we need you to eat that up, because you're not only going to potentially create something epic that will blow minds of many, the minds of many, but I feel as if you're just going to benefit greatly from that feeling, and it may help you realize something soon after that moment or that period of time that holds great value for you. Let's keep pulling. All right, Aries. The Ace of Cups here. I'm going to put this over here on the right side, because I feel like this is talking about that justice. And they're also saying, once again, when you focus on what feels right for you, when you focus on what is feeling intuitively correct, what you feel for one reason or another is going to benefit you, you start to experience gain in so many different forms. You start to experience what the Ace of Cups is saying, an overflowing cup of different forms of rewards, different forms of abundance. And so I feel like Spirit wants you to ask yourself some important questions throughout August as well. Will I be happy here? Will I be happy there? Will I be fully content if I chose to further commit to this person or to this situation, or if I chose to leap into this kind of other situation? Do you get what I'm trying to say? As Spirit is, okay, at certain points coming through from different avenues in different, different forms of communication, and they're trying to say to you at certain points, do you get what we're trying to say, or do you get what I'm trying to say? For at times I don't see you fully digesting in that exact moment what Spirit's trying to communicate. And so, it's one of those things where if you're meant to actually get it, if you're meant to use and apply what Spirit's communicating or trying to, if it's not happening in that moment, it's not meant to, and it will get through to you at another point. Wow, as I can't speak. But the colors blue, green, and purple are going to be really good colors for you, because it feels like a week, interesting, I meant a month, where you're needing maybe nature, but you're needing grounding energy, you're needing spiritual supportive energy, but you're also needing peaceful energy. And the blue part of that message also is giving me sort of a ride the waves kind of a reminder coming through, because I feel like you're going to more than ever feel like there's certain forces, Spirit and whatnot, working to your advantage. And so riding the waves throughout the month when maybe you normally would have began to or actually forced it, or you just wouldn't have rode the waves like you're being encouraged to. Anyways, because I feel like Spirit's saying we're working to your advantage in so many ways, even at a distance. And so at certain points, you just need to coast and flow forward and trust, the intuition coming through and Spirit selectively, and ride those damn waves. But also look at the King of Cups, Aries. There's something about you needing to sing your Aries song at this point and vibe to your own tune. March to the beat of your own drum is kind of the message. Get your song, your voice out there, and I want to say show off a little bit. You could be dressing all casual and whatnot, but I feel you're going to be inspired at certain points to, say, spruce that up with an accessory or two, or maybe post a selfie with how you're feeling, looking, what you're changing in your life. For Spirit is saying there are certain memories that you're being pushed to create at this time, pictures, movies, recordings otherwise, maybe create art to commemorate, hearing playlists of music. You get the point, because there's something about this being a churning point for you, including, I want to say, the upcoming month or two, being September and October. For when you look back, you'll want some of those memories to refresh, to enlighten, to maybe even glorify. But to wrap up your reading on the top, Aries, the Six of Pentacles, You will be rewarded, you will receive justice, and you will get what you focus on, my friends, all right? This makes you a manifester. It makes you powerful. And I feel like, once again, this is a turning point for your Aries path, for your Aries life. Take care, my friends.